Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed. Ledger is still having their Christmas sale, where if you buy a Ledger Nano X, you get $25 for free to be able to buy some crypto. This is not paid advertising, but I do have an affiliate link below, as I am an affiliate of Ledger. And without further ado, let's jump into all the news that we missed, because there's a lot of really weird stuff in news that I thought was fake for at least a good 12 hours. American rapper and hip-hop artist Megan Thee Stallion is giving away $1 million in Bitcoin on Twitter to Cash App users. Thousands of people are participating, and many claim to have already received some sats from the star. I see what they did there. Megan Thee Stallion, also known as Hot Girl Meg, I see that. She's like bursting forward. Announced on Twitter Thursday that she is giving away $1 million in Bitcoin to Cash App users. The Hot Girl Coach is officially on Team Cash App, she wrote. To celebrate, I'm giving $1 million in Bitcoin to as many hotties as I can. Okay. We'll be giving out this million units until it's gone, so drop your Cash App below with hashtag BitcoinMeg to get a piece. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey also confirmed in a tweet that this Bitcoin giveaway was legit. We've seen before in the past that many other celebrities have come forward and saying that they were going to be giving away cryptocurrencies, and it was just bots or people from some other country who infiltrated someone's Twitter handle. So I was like, I heard from others that there was a celebrity giving away $1 million worth of Bitcoin on Twitter, and I was like, you know better. Like, of course that's not real. And then I looked around, lo and behold, there are billionaires who don't give away $1 million worth of anything. This is absolutely incredible for adoption. So apparently the news is, or how it goes, retweeted 18,000 times, liked more than 67,000 times, and has 172,000 comments. Of course, that's just, making a lot of sense. I think the average person is receiving around $10 worth of Bitcoin, which is great, because if you want to talk about how to increase adoption, immediately you give people a fragment of something, especially being Bitcoin. If they get Bitcoin and they see that Bitcoin at some point doubles in price, goes up 50% in price, they've also made money. And then they sit there and wonder and go, oh, I wish I had purchased more of that I had before. And therefore they start buying more and more. It's great for adoption. So around, I think 100,000 people will be able to receive this cash airdrop crypto giveaway kind of thing. That's never happened before. Like, it seems fake still in my mind, because no one gives away $1 million worth of anything. You can have like a TV show, you can have a game contest, you can have like a Hunger Games type event, but no one just gives away $1 million, especially not to 100,000 different people, $10 each, what have you. It's still quite amazing. So anyway, yeah, I thought this was fake. Nope, it's actually real. So I do tip my hat to her, because that is, and also side note, if she's giving away $1 million worth of Bitcoin, does that mean that she's been into Bitcoin and her friends have been into Bitcoin for a while? Anyway, yeah, this was real. Megan Thee Stallion gave away $1 million and is currently giving away $1 million worth of Bitcoin. So if you want some free sats, I mean, go get them, because apparently it's real. Next up, there has been a wake of institutional interest in Bitcoin, understatement, and the cryptocurrency market in recent months. This is quite evident following the increased valuation of assets under management in Grayscale's institutional-grade crypto investing and management company. Currently, the valuation of crypto assets with the company has reached a milestone of $13 billion US dollars, and there's their chart that they always have right there. They write it oddly. I know it's also a correct way to write it in finance, but it still looks weird. The amount of Bitcoin that they have is 10,000 million, which is $10 billion, as opposed to just writing 10B, which represents about 83% of the net assets under management. The second largest product on Grayscale is the Ethereum Trust with 1,700 million, which is 1.7 billion, about 13% of the entire trust as well. We get Grayscale news all the time. I'm not really shocked by this. I feel like these numbers are still low, if I can say that, because we know that at this point, Grayscale is just crazy. And I assume that their main goal is just to have 1 million Bitcoin, if not 1 million plus Bitcoin, which they're going to eventually have. Which then leads to the question once again of how rich they're going to be by the time Bitcoin hits 1 million. But that's something for later on. Anyway, yeah, Grayscale continues to buy up Bitcoin because they're Grayscale. I guess the major news being now they have $13 billion worth of crypto under management, and that's going to increase a lot higher. Especially, this is also news I missed. So I think their assets under management have greatly increased since Bitcoin has been continuously been popping up in price. And without further ado, let's move on. Here's a really good one because it makes a lot of sense. DeFi went under the microscope at a U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission virtual meeting the other day, with one participant telling colleagues the emerging tech is a game changer. There are still plenty of questions about how to regulate the new financial species, however, and that is the most important part right there. The CFTC Technology Advisory Committee heard a presentation covering the ins and outs of DeFi, the group of blockchain-based applications, that was right, that offered financial services including loans, asset trading, and interest on customer deposits. Unlike banks, however, DeFi protocols use smart contracts to execute user orders and reduced overhead costs. So I didn't even have to really read a lot further. The issue is that the cryptocurrency space continuously is moving towards becoming further and further more and more decentralized. This poses an issue to regulators who are used to, historically, being able to either call up someone, since the last 20 or so, 30 years, email someone, and even before that, write a letter or simply go into an office and say that you've done this wrong. That is a problem. You're going to be regulated. This was an issue during the ICO craze because no one really knew who was issuing these ICOs, and this is why they put a whole bunch of stops in place to say, no, you can't do this. No, you can't offer this to U.S. citizens. That's why we had STO, security token offerings, because they were like, okay, they're definitely securities. Let's offer them on a cryptocurrency exchange. And then we had IEOs, and then what was the other 3-letter combination that we also had? So now the trend for this year, and potentially also next year as well, because there's a lot of hype around DeFi, is this new decentralized financial space where things can be run on computers without someone having to actively, continuously manage them. The computer and the smart contracts are kind of doing it themselves. But once again, this leads us to a situation where if the computers are automating everything and a lot of the people who are releasing these projects aren't really showing their faces, well then who do you call Ghostbusters? Who do you not get in trouble, but who's to blame for the thing for violating the regulations? You can't really blame anyone. So this is why the SEC and the CFTC keep having all these discussions. This doesn't necessarily impact you per se, but it does to a lot of other people who are trying to create things within the cryptocurrency space. The other really interesting part is that I read this years ago in some book, and it was basically about the cat's out of the bag, the hat's out of the rabbit, something like some sort of magic trick type thing where you can't put blockchain and crypto back into a box. Everyone knows about it. If they try to ban some type of coin, if they try to ban Bitcoin, someone simply a year and a half later creates another new Bitcoin or another new iteration that's more private, and it kind of continues on. So therefore, you can't really stop the train. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't find the right words, but you get what I'm trying to say. So it's kind of the same exact thing. How do they regulate when you can't really regulate? You can't go to a imagine them going to a computer and saying, stop it. Stop the smart contract. You can't do that because it's also, once again, decentralized, and there are thousands of other people who also have control over the nodes and the voting and the other things. So this is going to be a continual topic over the next couple of years. I think at a certain point we will reach a wall that regulators will finally realize is in front of them. I think they're in no way, shape, or form right now on the cusp of realizing that they are going to be made redundant, but this is what's going to happen. I have a very close friend of mine who is, when we talk about something along this lines, when it comes to regulations, regulators and stuff like that, in the financial space, they're going to have no place anymore. if you can simply, have you ever seen the videos of AI defending people in court, or AI acting as a judge? Like these were examples. I don't believe it actually has happened yet somewhere around the world, but the AI can do millions of calculations per second and has all this information at its behest at any given moment. So it's kind of this, like, if a regulator has to go through a book that's this thick and they go, okay, we're going to find out exactly what you did wrong, but the computer can kind of say no at the exact same time. So imagine trying to execute something on a system and the computer immediately just tells you, no, you can't do that. That's against the law. Okay, then I would simply change it to do something else. Okay, now it's for the law or to the law, and therefore you can kind of do it. There's no need for a regulator anymore. Like, we have all these tools now. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, computers are going to take over the world. They already are halfway there, if not a little bit more. But regulation questions are going to continue popping up, and there's not really much in the future that regulators will be able to do. That's not a threat or like a power to the Bitcoin people kind of thing. It's more of just a logical thing. If computers can do it better than a human, what's the point of having a human do something faulty when you can simply have the computer tell you, hey, that's not against the... Anyway, you understand what I'm saying. Let's move forward. Forward. Let's move on. Also, for some reason in the news that probably shouldn't really even be news, one of the wealthiest oligarchs in Ukraine and a former governor in the country's regions is reportedly mining Bitcoin in a factory located in the United States. Per Radio Free Europe, known also as Radio Liberty, all right, Igor Kolomoisky is said to be using the facilities of a factory owned by CC Metals and Alloy in Kentucky to mine Bitcoin, allowing him to use cheap electricity prices. However, the plant shut down in production operations back in July due to 19, according to the report. Despite most of the staff being expected to return to work at the end of the year, they were not. The rest of the staff would be fired. Mining equipment still there and inside of the facilities. The 70-year-old factory is owned by Kolomoisky, who also has links with Ukraine's current president and his business partner. So for some reason, earlier this week, this was very popular news, and I haven't exactly pinpointed why. Is it because that someone from Ukraine is mining in America and people don't like that he's doing that? Is it because he's rich and he's mining? Is it because he bought a factory? Or I guess the news maybe would be that he owns a factory that people simply didn't know that he owned, and now he's using it to mine Bitcoin because the other employees were fired because they couldn't go to work. I'm not really sure what it is, but this was quite popular earlier in the week. Can you figure out? I feel like anybody remember Blue's Clues? Yeah, I'm that old. Like, you know, like the part where the guy's always like, can anyone show me in the room where it is? And you're like, it's there. I don't know why this was so popular. Is it maybe that we now know that someone from Europe is also into cryptocurrency mining? Is it the news that another rich person is doing rich people things? I honestly can't figure it out, but this was like really all over the place a couple of days ago, and I was like, I'll save that for the weekend because I don't see anything wrong with it, as far as I can tell. Especially when the constant conversation is that China has more mining capacity. Well, look at that, the U.S. has a little bit more now. So let's moving on. Next up. PayPal stock has reached record highs on Monday, capping off a strong period of outperformance relative to the NASDAQ and broader U.S. stock market. Since the 12th of November, technology-focused NASDAQ has gained around 6%. The broad and S&P 500 index is up by 3.5% over the same period. Although PayPal's foray into crypto isn't the only catalyst behind its vast outperformance, the merchant processor is well positioned to capitalize on the growing adoption of digital assets. Some analysts have even speculated, that a higher Bitcoin price could have a positive effect on PayPal's prospects. People are assuming that if Bitcoin goes up, that PayPal will do well. Wow, they really dug deep on that one. So the news basically is PayPal's doing well since they added Bitcoin. Right. Yeah, see? This is why it's news I missed, because it's news, but it's like it's missing something, almost like logic in a certain way. This was also quite popular. We've even had other stuff before, other weekends that I just didn't have in a news I missed, but it's like a company that added Bitcoin has made billions, and I'm like, wow, that was unexpected. Wait, you mean Bitcoin's popular and people are using it and buying it? I just didn't see that coming. So PayPal's positioned themselves in a position where they're going to be making a lot of money over the next couple of years. Assumption that if they're selling off Bitcoin or allowing people to buy it or whatever the case might be, they themselves probably have a pretty large treasury, if you will, of Bitcoin themselves. So we know that just about everyone with money is into Bitcoin. And I still wonder in a way why people would assume that Bitcoin's not going to make it. I've seen a couple of comments the last couple of days talking about Bitcoin's going down, and whoever commented back to that person, I do thank thee, because someone told me in a video, it was like, hey bro, stop hyping up the market. You know, gosh darn well that Bitcoin is going back to 15,000 and then dropping to 2K. And I sat there looking at it and I was like, what? And somebody in the comment just completely, tore them apart. And I was like, thank you, because it's no longer a question. Anyway, yeah, PayPal's richer because they added something that's scarce and that everyone in the world is going to be buying in a couple of years. Anyway, let's move on. In news that should also not be news, rapper Lil Pump, perhaps best known for his song Gucci Gang, and for shilling Donald Trump earlier this year, is launching a cryptocurrency called Pumpcoin. It's a collaboration with FYOOZ, a company that essentially securitizes celebrity status, peddling coins themed after popular creators and influencers. I have no idea what any of those words meant. According to a press release, Pumpcoin will let you game directly with the rapper himself, as well as engage with Lil Pump in other unspecified ways. No word yet on exactly how that's going to work, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. The company said the coin would be announced later today, wonderful, and described it as being like Cameo, but even cooler. Cameo, oh, okay, thank you for the explanation. Cameo is a service that lets you pay celebrities to send you personalized, oh, I've heard of that. A lot of celebrities make a lot of money on that that thing. They were showing, what's the guy's name? Gilbert Gottfried. He's living quite well. He makes like, I think 20 videos a day or something like that. Anyway, a representative for the company confirmed to Decrypt that Pump coins will only be available outside of the US thanks to the SEC regulations. The company plans to release the coins in early 2021. Oh, so I also thought that this was fake news, and then I realized quite quickly that it was not. Remember when I was saying before that this year feels like 2017? In 2017, we had a situation where a number of rappers, celebrities, came forward with their own cryptocurrencies and tried launching them and telling people that it was going to be the best, biggest new thing. It's not. Please, for the love of everything holy, I cannot tell you where to put your money, but I assume you can tell by the tone of my voice that I'm implying something. Years ago, many moons ago, this is 2018, we had a situation where the SEC smacked down every single celebrity and every single person who tried to launch a crypto coin, and many of them did. Here's a name right here. It happened over and over because it was kind of the trend to create your own coin and tell people that it was going to be amazing. But a lot of celebrities basically were paid money to go on social media to tell other people to buy a coin that they had no real affiliation with. The celebrity got their money, so that's all they really cared about. So just understand that neither you nor your friends are going to be using Pumpcoin in any store anytime in the near future. There is about a 38,000% more likely chance that you are going to be using Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Lumens, or even Tether than Pumpcoin. So just, use logic as best you can, because it's been a rough year, and don't make it rougher on yourself by not paying attention to logic. It even says Pumpcoin is here because why not? Woo! All right, let's move on. Next up, over 1,000 cryptocurrency firms' licenses have been revoked in Estonia this year as the country tightens the oversight of the cryptocurrency industry amid heightened money laundering concerns. I'm sure. The Estonian Ministry of Finance revealed on Friday that the country's Financial Intelligence Unit, or FIU, sounds like a university, is it? Has revoked more than 1,000 crypto companies' licenses. 1,000? 1,000 companies were told no this year? That's a huge amount. Estonia, once a mecca for cryptocurrency entrepreneurs, was it? Started worrying about money laundering risks in the crypto sector last year. The announcement follows the meeting of the Government AML Commission, where the issues surrounding the regulation of cryptocurrency service providers were discussed. Vitalik, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Finance, who serves as the deputy head of the commission, stressed that monitoring and regulation of crypto services providers are in continuous need for heightened attention. Thousands a lot. It feels like probably what happened is that there was maybe one or two companies who did something that they shouldn't have been doing, and it probably involved the movement of a lot of money, which the government realized they probably weren't getting, thus the AML KYC kind of thing. But I feel like it's something more than that. To revoke 1,000 licenses per year, I doubt that 1,000 companies were that dumb to do something illegal, blatantly illegal, in that way. So I wonder exactly what it was. I'm not sure if this is them simply trying to make sure that things are properly regulated, or really trying to backtrack on everything they've been doing because they're afraid of the sector overtaking their banking system sector, whatever it might actually be. I want to say who knows, who cares, but I'll say it like this much, because planes exist, and so do buses, and so do trains. So any company that was wrongfully kicked out or had their license revoked can simply, take a train to another country. 1,000's a lot. 1,000 feels like something actually else happened behind the scenes, because, I could see 15 out of 1,000, but 1,000 tells me that their assumption, maybe trying to build up their own infrastructure, and they realize that the other 1,000 companies could be taking away profits from them. Anyway, that's the Estonia news. Didn't think you would hear me say that today. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up. Oh no, the sun's coming again. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. It's slowly making its way across the camera, and in like 5 seconds, I'm going to be solar flared. It says, while Bitcoin is up massively over the past few years, there are still many in the world that do not own cryptocurrency. Estimates compiled by leading on-chain analysts indicate that less than 2% of the world has exposure to Bitcoin. Less than 2%. Gosh, golly gee willikers. According to Willy Woo, a leading Bitcoin on-chain analyst, says that less than 2% of the world has exposure. He specifically mentioned 1.7%, which is around 120 million people having exposure to Bitcoin. He said, my best estimate is 1.7% of the world's population has exposure to Bitcoin. 1.3% is lower bound. At 1.7%, Bitcoin hasn't even started on this adoption S-curve. It's about to, I can't read the screen. Go away, son. Etch a path. I can read it now. At current growth, it would be one of the fastest climbs in history yet. So here's a chart here that I can kind of read. And I assume we're here. maybe here? Not really sure. I think even 2 years ago, I think we had news that maybe there were like 50 million people on the planet who had Bitcoin. So 120 million, that's a pretty good number. And that number is only going to increase the higher that Bitcoin's price goes. Whoever you are in the comment section, the other day, somebody wrote a comment and it said, I'm so tired of my coworker saying, I'm going to go get me some Bitcoins. And I remember just laughing because it's this continual trend. And it's even funnier when you've been in this space for a long time and someone else has just heard about it, or they tell you to buy some after you told them a year ago to go buy some. I can only imagine the frustration of hearing, but it does help with the adoption. Because if they buy and prices go up, they start buying more. They tell their friends, hey, you know, times are hard. You should also buy some. And this kind of continues the entire thing going. But we are nowhere near the peak. Even if prices are going to continue, which they will, continue fluctuating over the next couple of years. When we reach like really strong adoption, like even over here, like this isn't people selling off their Bitcoin. These are the people who get in late. Like there's always going to be people who get to the party at the very, very end. Anyway, so 120 million people, and it's only going to increase. I wonder how many extra people have been onboarded to the market through PayPal, their friends telling them that they made money, and any other thing that I can't possibly think of, because I'm sure there are many. Anyway, I can see the sun is there now, and I'm having trouble reading the screen. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up. Oh gosh, wait for it. Using my hand. Okay, there we go. I can read now. Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, has started shipping its physical Binance Visa cards to the EEA, the European Economic Area. According to a report on the 14th of December, users in the EEA region will soon receive their physical Binance Visa cards. Customers that have already ordered the card can now complete the delivery process in their crypto wallet. In conjunction with the cards, Binance also added Ether support to the crypto debit card, so customers can now pay with the altcoin. They said simply transfer Ethereum to your card wallet and drag it above the other coins to make it the preferred. Oh, that sounds actually kind of easy. Spending limit of 8,700 euros per day. It's a very odd number. $10,600. Sorry. ATM withdrawals are 290 euros or 300. It's also weird to have a withdrawal limit. Anyway, Binance's card is floating around Europe now. I, once again, think these things are wonderful for adoption, but I don't think anyone's going to actually use them. Stop. I think 1% of people will actually use them because there are people who always like to, do things like that. But I think a huge portion of the market is not going to be selling off their cryptocurrencies anytime soon. Like, no, I don't know. No. Imagine Bitcoin's at 23,000. And you're like, I'm going to buy this, and I'm going to buy a new coat, and I'm going to buy that, and you buy a whole bunch of things. And then Bitcoin goes up to like 87,000. You'd be like, oh, you got to mad at yourself. So anyway, like every fourth day we get like a new, or rather a company is releasing a new kind of card. I think it's cool because eventually at some point we are going to want to pay with our crypto. Once it absolutely decimates the US dollar and, hyperinflation and all that stuff. So I think it's cool that they're setting up the infrastructure, but I'm not spending my crypto anytime soon. And to finish things off, also in news that shouldn't have been news, that was really popular news during this week. On Monday, Vitalik Buterin, the Russian-Canadian programmer who created Ethereum, revealed why he sold half of his Bitcoin holdings 7 years ago. Back in December 2013, Bitcoin was trading around $800. Don't you wish we had a time machine right now? $800 Bitcoin. The article says, anyway, earlier today, Vitalik offered some advice for anyone who is considered borrowing money to buy Ether. Yeah, don't take out debt to buy cryptocurrencies. It's just don't do it. Sensible advice. And then it says, anyway, again, I don't even have to read it because the sun is burning my hand as I'm holding it in front of the screen to be able to read the article. What basically happened is he basically wrote he was broke. That was it. He said, I didn't have a lot of money. I had to sell it. I wanted to eat. And therefore, I sold off my Bitcoin. A lot of people don't know that in the very beginning, Ethereum wasn't popular. They were touted as the worst coin out there because before they launched, they were spoken about as if they were an actual competitor to Bitcoin. But I think after a couple of months after the project had released, the price had collapsed. And the people from the Ethereum Foundation or the Ethereum whatever had come forward and they were like, yeah, we're not doing too well. And then I think that's when Mr. Novogratz stepped in. Anyway, that's the news about Vitalik. It was very popular. A lot of people were changing the words, and it was something along the lines of like, why did Vitalik sell half of his Bitcoin? But it was worded in like, he just sold them right now. Like, Vitalik Buterin in 2020 has sold half of the Bitcoin that he owns. And it was like, when you looked around, you found the year 2013, and you're like, oh, okay, that's a totally different news story. But sensationalization and all that kind of stuff. How am I going to look at prices? I can't even read the gosh darn screen. Give me half a second. I always forget to do this. Wait for it. Wait a bit. Hold on. Wait. Don't move. Wait, there we go. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. I can't see anything. I wish you... The sunlight's about like this much on the screen. So I can see numbers, but they can't see me. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Crypto Stahl, George Montoya, Wiselink, not TMI, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Storio, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moher Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D, 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mann, Jalavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hishesh Every Day, and Kowski Leg Day. Yes, to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mouse Corner Staff. I said Bodie McBoatface. Bodie McBoatface. Anytime Fitness, Mouse Corner Staff. Arf Medic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to all the new what? Thank you to all the new Patreon supporters. Yes, I mixed the words up. I keep seeing a lot more new people every single day. I do thank you from the bottom of my hands or whatever I'm doing right now. I do appreciate the support. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone who's been buying ledgers. I love all of you. It's absolutely amazing everything that's been happening in the last couple of days. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try and use my hands to do this because I can't see the prices. Wait for it. There we go. At the moment, Bitcoin's at 23,000. I might look ridiculous, but I want to read. Bitcoin's at $23,000. It's like up, down. It's like it's in red, but it's clearly like trying to move itself up. Ethereum's at 655. XRP is at 58 cents. You see, it's kind of weird. Like all the coins are like up, but just a smidge below where they previously were before. I guess consolidation and all that kind of stuff. Bitcoin's price has been going through the motions the last like day or two. People keep trying to lower it as much as possible, and then it just pops right back up a couple of hours later. So let's see what the weekend has for us. Anything crazy? Binance coin is up by 4%. NEM is still. I don't get why NEM is still moving. There's been no NEM news, so something behind the scenes may be taking place. Nothing too crazy. Uniswap is up by 9. Wonderful. Zilliqa's up by 18. Fantastic. Dogecoin is up by almost 5%. My hand is burning. And Ontology is up by 7. Wow, that hurt. Why did it hurt? I don't need to get that checked out. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See